Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Wednesday, June 23rd, 2021. We are in the final hour of the trading day. As you know, the final hour of the trading day is my favorite time to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions. And I say this because during the day, you have the day traders and the algorithms. They are in control of the price during the middle of the day. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in, they're dealing with the most money, very smart people, best information, best technology, and they start to wake up and go to work and make their decisions. Because they're dealing with the most money, it takes control of the price away from the day traders and the algorithms, and I consider them to be the smartest money on the street. Therefore, the prices that are as close to the close as possible I consider to be the most valid prices of the day, and therefore those are the prices that I make my buying and selling decisions from for my swing trades. So thank you all for coming today. It's always nice to see everyone. I hope you are having a good day. I hope you're having a good week so far, and I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you spending your time here, investing your time here with me, and I hope by investing your time, it is helping you become a better trader and a better investor. Currently, the Dow Jones is down 22 points, down 0.07%. The NASDAQ is up 41 points, up 0.29%. And the S&P is up 3 points, up 0.08%. So not a very big day today compared to the big moves we've had in previous days. Pretty flatlined, except for the NASDAQ, I would say. So here's the plan for today, everyone. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we are going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions. We're going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did not have any day trades today. I was looking around for valid day trade, a lot of ups and downs, but I was never able to find any. So no day trades to share with you today. After that, we're going to go over to the board. We're going to see how my students' positions are doing. I'm looking over there, and they look pretty good. Pretty good. So that will be fun to go through each one and see where they bought them and where they're at, how much they're up. But looks good over there. After that, we are going to talk about trader psychology, my favorite part of the day, or my favorite part of this podcast. Because it is such an important part of trading. I mean, trading really is psychology, and psychology really is trading. So hopefully by me mentioning and spending time every day on trader psychology, it will help you get your mind right as far as following your plan, sticking with your plan, position sizing correctly so that you can stick with your plan. But it's very important, and I hope just by mentioning this each day, one day something will resonate with you and you'll take it in. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal Scanner. I do have 3 requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a new trade. First, need to have a combination or confluence of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Second, I need to have a good risk to reward ratio, at least 2 to 1, based upon strong and valid support below me and strong and likely resistance above me. That's how I have to do the math. Of course, I don't know, but I just have to take my best educated guess upon where some levels are below me as support and where levels are above me as resistance. But I need 2 to 1. If I'm risking $1,000 on a trade, I need to be able to make 2,000 or more to the upside to make that asymmetrical math work. And then lastly, please make sure, regardless of what kind of trade you have, make sure you have a complete trading plan. Know what the volatility of the market is, position size accordingly to the market volatility, know where your maximum allowed loss is, know where your emergency stop is, know where your end of day stop is, know where your intraday profit targets are, know where your overhead resistance levels are, and as always, have a good trailing stop plan in place so that you don't give back all of your profits if you have a position that starts moving your way. All right, so I do have some end of day candidates. I will go through them carefully as we get closer to the end of the day. I'll look at the multiple time frames. I will look at the risk to reward ratios. I'll keep in mind correlation. Do I already have positions like this? And if something makes sense and I like it, I will purchase it before the close of the market. Then after the market closes, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you need clarification on anything, please let me know. I'm happy to help you with that. If there are any stock symbols that you would like me to look at prior to the close, if you could put them in the live stream, put an emoji by it so I know it's time sensitive, and I will do my best to get to it before the close of the day. And then lastly, if any of my students have any new entries or exits for me today, if you could please wait till the end of the market before you tell me about them, so that the market's closed, I'm done trading, I'm done teaching, and the pressure is off, and we'll spend as much time as we need. Okay, so that was a mouthful. Hang tight. I'm going to run the US legal disclaimer, grab a drink of water, and I'll be back in 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, are we back on the right screen? We are. Michael is here. Nice to see you, Leva. Hope you're doing well. Nice chatting with you earlier. Good analysis. Paxton is here. Paxton, I'm so proud of you, buddy. I'm glad to see you here, taking this serious, asking good questions. Very proud of you and Tracy. I really am, and glad that you two are making a good trading team. David is here. Nice to see you, David. As always, hope you and the family are doing well. Ava is here. Hello, Ava. Nice to see you as always. Hope you are having a really nice day. Miko is here. Good afternoon, Greg and everyone. Hello, Michael. Nice to see you, my friend. Hope you and the family are doing well. Also doing well, I should say. Steve Burns is here. Good to see you, Steve. Appreciate you being here. Always an honor, always a privilege to have you here, and thank you for everything that you do for this channel. I appreciate it, and I know everyone else does. Steve says, hello, traders. All-time highs are bullish in some of the indexes. That's right. That's right. We're making all-time highs. Pretty good stuff. All right. Well, I guess maybe we'll get on to it, huh? Apps. I did buy apps along with Lilia and Gary yesterday. False breakout to the downside. V2 bought here at 71.63. Nice day up today, up $2.28, up 3.81% on our first day, so that's pretty good. A little concerned that we rejected the 100-day moving average. A little concerned that we rejected the previous highs over here. Concerned enough about this today that I am going to take off half of my position on this today. You know, we've had two big, strong up days, but we did get thoroughly rejected by the 100. We got rejected by these previous highs over here. Did hit one profit target today at 73.51. Anyway, I looked at it first thing and I just thought, yeah, that's the right thing for me to do. It could go higher. If it goes higher, I have half, right? I still have half, but a couple points of resistance. Previous highs over here, got stuck right there and pegged the 100-day moving average. So I will be taking half profits off today on apps. Chug, it's been a really good trade. Jonathan and Gary and myself, we did buy Chug back here, double bottom, bullish divergence, bullish engulfing bar, false breakout to the downside, V1, lots of stuff. Bought it here at 74.64, moved up, rejected the 50 RSI. I took half, moved 1.5 ATRs from entry, therefore I'm in trailing stop mode. Then have a close below the previous day's low. I took another half here, had a quarter left, and we moved up and taking profits all along. Today we're rejecting the 50-day moving average. That's a bit of a warning sign for me. This is a really good trade. I mean, this trade from entry to current price up 8.29%. And with the rejection of that downward sloping 50-day moving average, I am going to go ahead and lock in profits on CHGG today. as long as it closes below the 50. If it closes above, I might take another, I might give it one more day, but if it closes below the 50, I'll be taking this off the table. MasterCard, Jonathan, David, Gary, Lilia, Tracy, Paxton, and myself did buy MasterCard with a 520 crossover. I especially like this trade because of the sideways motion. Sideways motion always leads to moves, either up or down. We just don't know which way. And the fact that we have sideways motion and we are smack dab in the middle of the value zone, giving it some room to move before it starts, getting up against those second and third ATR channel levels, which are hard to get past. So did buy this at 367.72. It's 375.20. It is this particular trade's up 1.95%. I did get to my 1.5 ATR trailing stop level, so I am in trailing stop mode at the moment, meaning that if I get a close below the previous day's low, I will get out of half. So anyway, nice trade so far, down a little bit today, but definitely up on the trade. SPY, of course, I do buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I sell it first thing the next morning. Not a big trade here, slightly positive. Bought this yesterday at the close at 423.11, sold it at 423.20. So I made a whopping 9 cents on that trade, but I'd rather make 9 cents than lose 9 cents. I'll be buying this today again at the close, holding it overnight, taking the overnight risk, selling it first thing tomorrow morning at the open. Twitter has been a monster trade, literally a monster trade. It's up 4.47% just today. Bought Twitter way back here along with Gary with the close under, close over the 200-day moving average. Had no idea it was going to do this, but I did set myself up for a good risk to reward ratio. Bought at 52.58, moved 1.5 ATRs from entry, finally had a close below the previous day's low. I sold half at 57.43. Had another huge leg up here. Hit 3 profit targets today. This particular trade from entry to current price up 21.11%. So that's been a monster. CMG has been another great trade. David, Kamal, and I did buy CMG with this higher low V1 in the value zone, rejection of the 250-day moving average. Bought at 1343.05, moved up nicely, scaled out of profits, got to 1.5 ATR trailing stop level. Had a close below the previous day's low, so sold half here at about 1370, and now we've had just an unbelievable move up after that one down day, the second leg up, and this particular trade here up 7.56%, looking for a rejection of the 70 RSI. Oh, I should mention on Twitter, I sold half yesterday. I forgot. I sold half yesterday. We went above 70 and below 70. Kind of a bummer, but not really. Still very happy that that went up. Now we're above 75 RSI. So basically, if I get a close below the previous day's low, I will be done with that particular trade and locking that in. So that's pretty sweet. Let's go over and take a look at your positions. DKNG, we have David, Gary, Kamal, Tracy, and Paxton. Did buy DKNG at 50.10. It's 50.69. It's up 1.04% today, so up on the day and up on the trade. True has been a beauty, man. I'm so glad. This is a great trade, Gary. This is a beautiful example of a return to value, sideways motion, and a V2. Gary nailed it here at 534. It's 577. It's up 4.72% today, and Gary is up 7.45%. In 2 days, everybody. Etsy, Jonathan checked in with me from Ireland, told me he bought the 520 crossover on Etsy at 170.80. It's 179.59. It's up 0.93%. This on the day, this is up 5.1%. In 2 days, everybody, not too shabby. Boeing, Kamal bought Boeing here at 240.57. It's currently 244.02. It's up about 25 cents. So he's up on the day, and he is up about 1.41% on this trade. So outstanding. Spotify, nice move up here for Steve Burns using the 1030 EMA. He bought here at 248.33. It's 256.40. It's up 1.09% today and up 3.28 on the trade. So congratulations. Alibaba, Jonathan Kamal bought Alibaba at 213.87 and is now 215.22. It's up 1.85%. Up on the day, up on the trade. Gary also sold puts, the 201.90s, the January 16th. So as long as it stays above $200 by January 16th, Gary will keep all the money on the credit spreads that he sold. AB&B doing really well here. Kamal, I believe, I always get confused. We have two entries here, 143.20 and 146.10. One for Gary, one Kamal. Is up 1.38% today, rejecting the 50-day moving average, but both Kamal and Gary are up on the day, and they are nicely up on the trade. Tesla, couldn't wait to get to this one for Tracy and Paxton. Look at this beauty. Tracy and Paxton bought Tesla with a 520 crossover, also retested the 200-day moving average on the same day. Bought it at 623.30. It's 653.29. It's up 4.75% today. And this trade is up 4.62%. So congratulations, Paxton and Tracy. SWKS, another, let's see, do we have Tracy and Paxton? Yes, Tracy, Paxton, Gary, and Steve bought the 520 crossover on Skyworks at 171.04. It's currently 173.89. It's up 1.22%. And so everyone here doing well, up 1.59% approximately on the trade. Shopify. Kamal had a wonderful trade on Shopify. Return to value. V1 bought this at 12.31. Got out of a third here. Got out of a third here. It is down just a little bit today, but this particular trade is up. Entry to exits. Entry to current price 17.77%. So congratulations there. ARC. Okay, ARC. David bought ARC at 118.40. It's currently 123.53. Beautiful trade with the V2 and close back above the 200-day moving average. It's up 2.08% today and up 4.11% on the trade. Way to go, Dave. Angie, nice trade here from Tracy and Paxton. Bought Angie with the V1 and the rejection of the 200-day moving average. Bought it at 13.62. It's 13.68. It's up 2.63% today, and it is up on the trade. PKI, another beautiful, let's see. Okay, so, all right. So I am in PKI on the weekly, but I'm not going to show that till Friday. No, David, here we go. David bought PKI at 146.10. It's 155.21. It's up 1.31% today. And David is up 5.88% on the trade. Way to go, Dave. UTZ, Steve bought UTZ with this bounce off the 200-day moving average. He bought it at 22.58. It's 23.67. It's up 1.72%. on the day, and it is up 4.56% on the trade. Way to go, Steve. SCCO. Steve also bought SCCO with an under 30, over 30. Bought it at 61.52 at 63.18. It's up 1.41%, and it is up 2.67% on the trade. Boot Barn, Frank, another beautiful Frank type of trade where he bought yesterday at 78.60. It's 83.21. It's up 2.53%. Frank is up 5.66% on this in 2 days. And then last but not least, we have Disney. Jonathan bought Disney with this bullish engulfing bar and a V1 rejection of the second ATR channel. Bought it at 173.98. It's 175.28. It's up 1.03%. on the day, and he is up about 0.75% on the actual trade. So very, very nice, everyone. Fantastic. Fantastic entries and trades. All right, so speaking of Frank, Frank is here. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you as always for every day what you do for this channel. Much appreciated. Your wonderful poems. Looking forward to one today, hopefully. Sam is here. Hi, Sam. Hi, Greg. And all. I'm new to watching and ready to learn. Fantastic, Sam. I'm glad you are here. Please let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Johnson says, hi, Greg and all. Good to see you, Johnson. Hope you're having a good day. Steve says, Angie bounced off the 200-day moving average again. Yes, it did. I believe I have Angie on my list, so we will take a look at those. Ava says IIVI. Well, it has a 520 crossover here. I don't know how that back tests. Actually, I think I tried to back test that earlier when I saw you mention that, but I was not able to. Would I buy it here? I mean, if it back tests well, I would. I mean, it's still in the value zone. I mean, there was quite a lot of distribution of share prices here. My gut is it's going to have a problem getting back up here. And if it does, not much higher than that. But, you know, what do I know, right? I don't know. I just have to look at the chart and kind of tell you how I feel. But if the 520 crossover does backtest well, maybe Steve or maybe Kamal could whip that up real quick if they have a second and see if that actually does backtest well. Affirm. Okay, I think I had that on the list as well. Oops. AFRM. Yeah, I've got that on the list. Yeah, look, it's a V2. I've looked at this several times today. It's a V2 in the value zone, Ava, but what I don't like about it, there's no sideways motion. We came into the value zone, we had a V2, this really makes a V. In my experience, when you go down like this and without any sideways motion and you have a big move back up, maybe you go up another day or two before you head back down. I would really prefer some sideways motion. Look for a base that can be built, look for a base that can be taken advantage of, and you could have an extended move up from it. But I don't see that happen very often on these just downs and right back up. So that's my honest opinion there on Affirm. Steve says Goldman Sachs back over the 200-day. Oh, did I not even notice that? What's going on? Oh, I see it back over the 50, Steve. Not the 200. Or am I wrong? I have the 200 down here at 284. So that looks like to me that's a rejection of the 50-day, Steve. Lily is here. Nice to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you and the dogs and the rabbit are doing well. Steve says, great Twitter trade. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. Steve says, trade management after entry can be more important than entry itself. Oh, I 100% agree with that. Nike back over the 200-day. That one is. That one definitely is back over 200. A lot of V going on here. Look at this V. We do have earnings coming up, though, looks like tomorrow. I don't know if those are after the bell or before the bell, but be careful and double check, if you don't want to hold through earnings. Steve says, some beautiful trades by everyone this week. Congrats. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I'll say thank you for everyone. Ava says, AI trying to overcome the 50 SMA. Yeah. Well, I like the sideways motion on this one, Ava. I mean, I like, you could use that 50 as a close stop if you needed to, but I like that we've come into the value zone, but there were enough buyers and sellers here to make things equal, showing that it's going to stop going down, that it has stopped going down. That's a very good sign. PTON. Back over the 200-day moving average. Yes, it is. A little high for me. It's rejected the second ATR channel. Good risk to reward ratio, no doubt about that. But just me personally, that's a little too high. Sony. Back to the 200-day. Steve had a nice trade on Sony. I remember that. Look, if this thoroughly rejects the 200-day moving average, it would be a nice higher low intraday rejection of the 200. I might be interested in that tomorrow. Tracy says, hi, Greg. Thanks for the education we received. We are doing much better trading. Oh, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. And I'm very proud of you and Paxton. Johnson says, MOSY. V2 and value zone. Well, it is in the value zone, and I like this very much, that we're above the value zone. We come into the value zone. We start moving sideways. Not a V2, though, Johnson. A V2 could have happened yesterday with day 1, 2, 2 washing out 1, 3 closing above 1, but it did not. So technically, I know this looks like a V2, but it would have had to have happened on the 3rd day. But it is in a good location. I mean, I would much rather just take a shot, buy this here, than buy it way up here, clearly. But this does look fairly good, but just from a learning perspective, it is not a V2. Steve says, IIVI has an average return of 2.15%. Great long-term results with the 50% loss rate, 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. So there you go. Who was that? Was that Ava? Or was that Lilia with IIVI? That does back to us well. Steve says, you are right about the 50-day SMA on Goldman Sachs. I have 200-day on my brain today with so many signals and other charts. There you go. There you go. That surprised me because I do look for Goldman Sachs at the 200-day moving average, and I was like, how did I totally miss that? Okay, let's take a look. I have a poem from Frank. We're going to post that up there. And let's go ahead and read it. Where's my lucky baseball cap? I'm going to need it. Going to need it. All right, here we go. Frank has a poem. Only trade if it's right for you, not if you have debt or the bills are past due. Some jump into the market with hardly a clue, and before they know it, have bitten off far more than they can chew. Oh, well, that is true. Let me see. Okay, there we go. Let's read it one more time. That's fantastic. Only trade if it's right for you, not if you have debt or the bills are past due. Some jump into the market with hardly a clue, and before they know it, have bitten off more than they can chew. Like always, Frank sums it up perfectly, makes it rhyme, makes it pertinent. Unbelievable. Fantastic, Frank. Appreciate you so much. Really, really do. My goodness, is that a good poem? My goodness, is it a good poem, everybody? All right. Path. Well, it's certainly building a nice base here. I don't see an under 30 over 30. I don't quite see a V1. Maybe if it closed above the 5-day, that would be a change. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly, not really enough information on there for me to look at that, Dave. I don't think I would buy it here, though. Can't really tell you why, other than just being honest with you. Ava says, thank you, Steve. Steve says, that is good poem advice, Frank, for would-be traders with the wrong mindset. Well, Steve brings up a good point there. Yeah, you have to have the right mindset. You can't just think you're going to make a ton of money right away. I mean, this is a lifelong pursuit. It takes a lot of patience. It takes, it does take skill. It takes a lot of repetition and knowing how you're feeling and what's making sense on the chart. But have the mindset of focusing on risk. Have the mindset on you're going to make money slowly, and that's how you're going to make money. But if you come in there thinking that you're going to just take on all these traders around the world and you're going to beat them easily, you really have something else coming. I promise you. All right. Okay. All right. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. Well, listen, let's head over to Trader Psychology Land, talk a little bit about trading psychology. Of course, there are a handful of really good Facebook and Twitter channels that I like to follow. Great traders, great educators that always have good trading words of wisdom, good information, good thoughts on trader psychology. And this is from Linda Raschke. Of course, probably many of you have heard of Linda. She was featured in the Market Wizard books by Jack Schwager. Just an outstanding trader, world famous. I was lucky enough to meet her and attend a seminar of hers in Las Vegas. She definitely knows what she's doing. As a matter of fact, I think the first trading book I ever read, Street Smarts, read that back in the 90s. She co-authored that with Larry Connors, and so that was the first trading book I ever read. I really have a lot of respect for Linda. Manages money, does some education, but if you have not followed Linda, please do, at Linda Raschke on Twitter. And she's the real deal, everyone. She's the real deal. She's been doing this almost her entire life, working at hedge funds. Just an outstanding trader and someone to look up to and try to emulate, because she is fantastic. And again, she was featured in the Market Wizard series. So if you have that, you might want to listen to that segment. But let's see what Linda has to say here. Without hard work, a great strategy remains a dream. Without a great strategy, hard work becomes a nightmare. This is by she's quoting James Clear. So let's break this down a little bit. Without hard work, a great strategy remains a dream. So you can't really have a great strategy unless you put some hard work into it. However, if you don't have a great strategy, hard work becomes a nightmare. So you have to have both. You can't just work hard but not have a strategy, right? And you can't have a strategy without work. So we need a great strategy. We need to work hard. You need to work hard to find a great strategy. Put time and effort into the strategy, position sizing, profit targets, overhead resistance levels, trailing stops, all the stuff that I talk about that you need for a complete trading plan. But when I read this, I was really glad to see this. I hadn't seen a post from Linda for a while, but it's perfect for this program. Let's read it one more time. Without hard work, a great strategy remains a dream. Without a great strategy, hard work becomes a nightmare. So you can work hard as you want, but if you don't have a great strategy, it's going to be a nightmare. But without hard work, a great strategy remains a dream. So you have to work hard, everybody. It's the same thing in life, in trading, everything. You have to work hard at things. You can't give up. You have to be passionate about them. You have to follow your passions, right? And so, I have that with trading, and that's what has made me succeed in trading, because I'm obsessed by it, right? I'm obsessed with small little details of trading, making small little changes. And, that's why I started this channel. I started out trading at a young age with a lot of money and did very, very poorly because I had no idea what I was doing. I did not have a plan. I did not know how to trade, but I made the decision, okay, I'm going to work at this. I'm going to focus on this. I am going to obsess on this. I'm going to work with different traders and educators around the world until I come up with my own, quote, great strategy. And I have it, right? And it's part of me. It runs through my blood, and it doesn't mean we're always going to make money every day. But I was discussing this with Kamal. Even if I have a drawdown, I'm very confident in the long run that I will overcome that drawdown and make new highs. Not in the short term, but in the long term, I'm very confident. And that's what trading a long time does. Working hard will give you the confidence that even if you don't make money in the next week or two, in the month, a year later from now, you will. So anyway, thank you, Linda Raschke. Really appreciate that. Please follow her at Linda Raschke over on Twitter. That was helpful for me, and I hope it was helpful for everyone else. Paxton says, thanks to all the mentors here. You're welcome, buddy. Just proud of you for showing up, putting in the hard work. Right, Paxton? Like learning to play poker. You have to work hard at learning to play poker as well, or anything out there. Frank says, thanks, Paxton. Great. Steve says, I learned a lot studying Linda Raschke. She sent me a review copy of her last trading book, Trading Sardines, which really got into her personal life and trading. Oh, that's right. I remember you posted that, Steve. I'm going to have to grab that book. Let me read that again. I learned a lot studying Linda Raschke. She sent me a review copy of her last trading book, Trading Sardines, which really got into her personal life and trading. Oh, that's great. I have to read that. Steve says that Linda tweet quote is from James Clear, his Atomic Habits. Oh, I've heard about that book. His Atomic Habits is one of the best books about making life changes. I have heard that from several people as well. So Atomic Habits by James Clear. If you're looking for a good book to read, that might be the one to take a look at. So what do we have? We have 22 minutes left. Let's see how things are going over here. Let's see how things are going over there. That all looks good. Real quick, before I start looking at new stuff, I am going to sell half of my position in apps today. It's been it's up 3.21%, hit the one profit target there at 73.51. But again, it rejected the 100-day moving average, which is the red line. It also had a problem overcoming or getting stuck here in this previous range. So when I first look at this, my first thought was, yeah, I'm selling half. And if it goes up higher, great. I'll be happy that I have half. If it goes down tomorrow, I'll be happy that I sold half. One of the best things about selling half, it's the only win-win proposition in the trading game. If you sell half, it goes up, you're still glad you have half. If you sell half, it goes down, you're glad you sold half. I love it. But I am going to sell and lock in half profits here today. This will make this trade a little bit easier. Just technically, I just feel like it's going to have some issues here, and seems like it already is. So I'm going to lock in half profits there. Chug. Well, I'm looking at selling half of Chug here as well. If we close below the 50 SMA, it's 81.71. We're at 81.68. So let's see. Let me give myself a little reminder. Not that kind of reminder. Going to give myself a little blue reminder that to look to sell half of that. I'll watch CHGG to sell half of that. Not half. I'll be out of the trade on this one right here because I've already rejected the 50 RSI and now I'm rejecting the 50-day moving average. So if this rejects the 50-day moving average, I will exit Chug. MasterCard is fine, down today, but fine. SPY, of course, buying that overnight. Twitter is just a monster of all monsters, up 4.45% today, unreal. Anyway, I'll be keeping this. Did hit 3 profit targets today. I'm just looking for a close below the previous day's low. That's all I'm looking for on this one. CMG, doing great, doing fine. No profit targets today, but still great trade down here from 13.45. So nothing I have to do with that. Okay, so selling half apps and watching CHGG to see if it closes under the 50-day. So that's what I'm doing. Kamal says he is currently reading and listening to Atomic Habits. Well, I'm going to have to read that, Kamal, so when I come out and see you, we can discuss it. Kamal says he's selling 1/3 of CMG. Okay. Sounds good. Just remind me at the end if you don't mind, bud. Johnson says JMIA seems to be V1 yesterday and V2 today. Is that a valid entry? Well, you can't have, well, let's take a look. It was a V1 yesterday. You technically can't have a V1 and a V2 on the same day. Yesterday, we went below day one and closed above day one's close. Also closed above the 250, which give you a really good risk to reward ratio. But it's either a V1 or a V2. It can't be both at the same time. It can look like it, but it's not. But I don't know if did you buy this? Did you buy this, Johnson? Yesterday was the valid entry. Jonathan said C and cat under over 30. Hey, Jonathan, good to see you. I updated your positions. Citigroup, yes, under 30, over 30. That is correct. And over the 5 EMA. Let's look back over on the weekly. Weekly holding support at the -1 ATR channel. Big old down bar last week. I think we could rally. We'll probably rally to like 71 or 72. If there was a double bottom and a bullish divergence here, something like that, I would buy that. I mean, this is valid. It gives a very good risk to reward ratio, but the context and structure of this chart I don't like so much. And then Caterpillar I have on my list, so we'll take a look at that. Steve says, Greg, your profit-taking scaling out into winners is exactly Richard Weissman's regret minimization model in his trading. Where did you learn it from? You two are the ones I have ever heard mention it. Yeah, I don't know who he is. I remember you saying that once to me on Skype, but I don't know how Richard Wiseman came up with it, but it's just something I worked on and developed over the years. I was telling this to someone the other day. I mean, I spend most of my time looking at how to exit trades, not exit trades. Kind of circling back to what Steve said, what trade management is really kind of more important than the entries. But I just from studying with Dr. Elder and studying with Kerry Lavorne, they're both proponents of selling into strength, right? Both proponents of playing offense and defense, of playing defense to the downside, but playing offense and selling into strength. Dr. Alexander Elder, of course, is a psychiatrist. His kind of main tenet principle of trading is people are either manic or they're depressive. And your job as a trader, buying from the depressive people, buying when people are just throwing the baby out with the bathwater. That's when you need to step in and buy. Conversely, when people are manic and things are going up and going up and going up and everybody wants to buy and everything's great, your job is to add liquidity and to sell to them. So using kind of that analogy, that offense defense analogy, Steve, is where I came up with my scaling out protocols, where I hit my profit target, sell 10% of whatever I have left. Yeah, it's just something I was obsessed about and that I came up with. But I'm glad to see that Richard Wiseman also does it, and he recalls it the regret minimization model. Hey, I'm into regret minimization. But yeah, I just came up with it. Kamal, that is great choice. Johnson said I did not buy JMIA. All right. Okay, should we take a look? XLU, little bounce off the 200-day moving average, intraday rejection of the 200-day moving average. Let's see what the low was on the day. Low was about 35.02. So yeah, I mean, this could be bought here. Let's take a look over on the weekly, see if we can get any clues from the weekly. I don't see really any support on the weekly yet, so I think I'll just wait on XLU and just wait until I get a confirmation of some weekly support as well as daily support. Although technically this would just go rallying back up, but it's okay. It's just not a totally clean trade for me yet, and I would like a little better risk to reward ratio. BLNK looks pretty good. Return to value, V1, false breakout to the downside. We were above the value zone. We came into the value zone. We went sideways, another day of sideways. We had yesterday's washout bar that washed out day one, also washed out the previous low. And this is a super valid V2 right here. Johnson. Yep. False breakout to downside, V2. I like this very, very much. Yesterday was the washout bar. My stop would be right here, right about a 50 RSI, right at the 200-day moving average. From here to here is my risk. We could go up, challenge old highs. So it does, I think from a risk to reward standpoint, it is at least 2-to-1. Who knows? But I do quite like that. AFRM. Okay, we talked about this earlier. Look at the difference. Here's BLNK with a return to value, sideways motion, washes out the previous low, reverses back up to this V2. So Ava, if you're out there, let's compare and contrast here, right? See how we have more sideways motion and we kind of have this ledge of the previous low here and the V2. If we look at a firm, it's just down and up. And in my experience, those down and uppers just don't do very well over the next few days. So that's why I like BLNK much, much, much better than a firm. Angie. All right, well, we talked about Angie. Angie's list has tested the 200-day, 1, 2, 3, not quite today, is closing above the 5 EMA, which I think is a good sign. It hasn't closed above the 5 EMA back here till the 14th, so 10 days ago. I don't think I'd buy it, to be honest with you. I just think the risk to reward ratio is not all that hot tamale at this point. FUTU, nice breakout there. I certainly wouldn't chase it up at these levels, up at the second ATR channel and 65 RSI. Who knows? Maybe it has another day, can go up. But remember, I want to buy here in the value zone. I want to start selling up here. This is not where I want to buy with my stop back here at value, and then it will probably just take right off again. Caterpillar, under 30, over 30. Back over the negative third ATR channel, which is all right. Back over the negative third ATR channel and back over the 5 EMA. Pretty good, but it has moved quite a long ways from the bottom to the top to get there. That's something I have to take into consideration. And it's moved, you know, if it was just barely under 30 and it popped back over, that's one thing. But, you know, we've probably moved, I don't know, 4.18% to get us there. So I have to put it and keep it in context. So I'm gonna let that one go. CRI, it's good. Return to value, sideways motion. Yesterday was a false breakout to the downside here. Now we triggered a V2 back over the 50 RSI. This all looks good. I mean, this is great. It's perfect. But I can't take this because it's only traded 200,000 shares. So it's not enough shares for me. NXPI, not a clear signal. GRWG has a 520 crossover. It's already moved quite a bit. Let's look at MasterCard. Let me show you the difference. Look at the sideways motion, then we had the V1, right? Sideways motion, V1. If we look at GRGW, look how far it's moved up already before it happened. We're right back at resistance, so I wouldn't buy that either. Yelp, big strong day today, 520 crossover. Not sure how that back tests, but I think I'll leave that one alone. UPST, not bad, not bad. It's not perfect. It's not in the value zone, but we have been forming a base here, and we have a nice V2. Would give a good risk to reward ratio, actually. We're in the value zone on the weekly. I don't know much about this company, but I like that. If I were to buy this, my stop would be halfway of yesterday's washout bar. So great risk to reward ratio. That actually looks pretty good. I'll put that over here. I'm going to put Angie back over here. SPTN, don't see anything there. OLED, 520 crossover, not sure how that back test, however. TSM, nope. UAL, no. DAO, no. AVGO, do not see anything. And Buns, oh, I remember Buns. Remember Buns, Frank? Yeah. All right. So BLNK and UPST. BLNK. BLNK. And UPST are my two faves. Now, let me get to work. I am going to sell half of apps. And I'm going to do that right now. Just lock in half profits for the reasons I explained earlier. And CHGG does look like I am going to go ahead and just sell all of CHGG right now, assuming that's going to close under the 50. So that's been a really good trade. I'm not going to be a pig about it. It hit both of my, it rejected the 50 RSI, it rejected the 50 SMA. So I am done with Chug. Appreciate that. That was a nice relationship while it lasted. Okay, good. UPST. Okay, so let me see which one I like better here. Blink looks good. BLNK, blink charging. Charges in a blink, I guess. False breakout to the downside. V1 over the 50 RSI. Weekly above the 50. That looks really good. Upstart. It is up against the -1 ATR channel, so blink is going to be it for me. $0.04 spread on that, by the way. All right. Do a little math over there. Okay. Got that taken care of. What about over here? All right, that makes sense to do over here as well. Okay, I think I'm good. Okay, fantastic. So I did sell 1/2 of apps. I did get out of Chug and locked in profits there. That was a really, really nice trade. MasterCard down today, but still doing nicely. Could hit a trailing stop tomorrow. SPY getting a little discount on my overnight Spire. Twitter, that thing is a monster. Just keeping that one. CMG, also a monster. Keeping that one. And then buying Blink. Ava says, yes, BLNK setup looks very neat. I think you're the one that told me about that one, Ava, I believe. Could be wrong. Steve says, oh, okay. Steve says, Richard Wiseman is a professional trader, hedge fund manager, and teaches corporate traders in the commodity complex. He wrote the book Trade Like a Casino. He is a friend of mine. Oh, that's fantastic, Steve. I'm going to have to read that book. I'd like to see what his approaches are on the scaling out as well. But I'm a huge believer, not just because playing offense and defense, but one of my challenges as a trader, if I have to be honest, is always keeping trades long enough. I get out of trades quickly, but getting out of trades or staying in trades has always been a bit of a challenge, right? And so by selling partial profits, that helps me psychologically and emotionally to be able to hold on to trades longer. Like Twitter, I would have never held on to Twitter for that long, I guarantee you. Kamal says, I'm going to buy UPST. Okay, sounds good. Tracy said, do you ever think I have a lot of OGG 520 crosses? Maybe I should her something og. I'm not sure what that means, Tracy. Help me. Do you ever think I have a lot of OGG 520 crosses? Maybe I should her something og the 250. Okay. You're gonna have to rework that post for me, Tracy, because I'm not sure. I mean, I'm getting the gist of it, but I'm not 100% sure what you mean. Maybe what you mean is you have a lot of crossovers. You should be looking for some 200s or two deep dip buys. I would 100% agree with that. All right, we have 2 minutes left. All right, I just went ahead and bought Blink. All right. Give me 1 sec. Market's going to close here in a sec. Okay, so that is the close of the day. Nice solid day there. Very happy for that. Let's see where things were bought today. All right, transactions. I did buy SPY at 422.60. I bought BLNK at 39.91. So BLNK, I bought at 39.91. And then I also bought SPY at 422.60. $422.60. Okay, and then as I mentioned, I did sell half of apps, and I did get out of CHGG. So if any of my students have any new positions for me that they would like me to update, on the board, this would be the time. Go ahead, put it in the live stream chat, and I will get those taken care of in just a few minutes. Just want to, before we do that though, I just want to remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I think I'm good at it. I know I teach a really great course. I teach you all 5 of my different trading approaches that I use. I teach you step by step. Doesn't matter if you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. I know this will help your trading. I know you'll be a better trader after this course. It's 15 hours long, so it's pretty long. 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. And I think the best thing about it is that it's one-on-one. We do a lot of repetition. I ask you a lot of questions. I throw a lot of curveballs at you. We do a lot of simulated trading where I teach you how to do it first, but then after you are the one making the trade, you're giving me the instructions. We're getting in here, we're getting out here. This is how many shares we're buying. Just a lot of repetition of all 5 different trading approaches. So the course does cost $1,750, but I know it is worth every single penny. I know you are going to be happy that you spent that money when you're done with this course. So if you're interested, please send me an email. Email is in the description of this video. Just send me a quick little email saying, Greg, I'm potentially interested in your course. I'll reply and say, that's great. Thanks for saying hi. Let's do a Skype call together. In the Skype call, I just want to talk to you, get to know you better. You can ask me questions about myself, my trading. I want to know about your trading, your challenges, your goals. And it's a great time for you to ask me any specific questions that you have about the course during that call. And when we're done with the Skype call, think about it as long as you want. And, if the moment grabs you one day and you say, dang it, I do want to take that course, write me back and we'll get it scheduled. Secondly, I have a really good online video course available on udemy.com. I teach you step-by-step how to trade the deep dip buy stock trading strategy. Some of the big moves I've had here recently in the last couple of weeks have come from that exact strategy. And in that course, I teach you exactly step-by-step how to trade it. And the best news there, that course is only $12 or $15 depending on the day on Udemy. So it's well worth your money. Shell out the $12, shell out the $15, watch that course. It's a long course. It's 9.5 hours of video. I teach you step by step. So link is in the description. And then lastly, if you like today's podcast, I would really appreciate it if you would hit the thumbs up button. It does help to build the channel, helps keep the channel around, lets YouTube know there's some valuable content here so they can get out and share it with more people. So, if you hit the thumbs up button before you go, I would really appreciate it. That's all I ask, and just to let YouTube know that there's something good here. All right, so let's go over and take a look. Okay. OGG equals off, I think. Yeah, one of the main tenets of my trading, Tracy, is I like to have as many different positions with as many different types of signals as possible. So yes, I don't want to have 5 crossover signals. I don't want to have 5 deep dip buy signals. I'd like to have 2 of these ones, 1 of those ones, 2 of these. I like to have as many. So yes, some variety in your trading approach with the different trading strategies, I think is a really, really good idea. Yes, something off the deep dip. Okay, Gary's at a chug, at a half of BB for a small loss. Oh yeah, how did BB? I forgot about that. We talked about that yesterday. Okay, down a little bit. Okay, so at a chug. All right. So I have Gary out of that. That leaves Jonathan, unless I hear from Jonathan. Out of BB. Michael says, I noticed early on that your profit target system freed up capital that I could then put into another trade that had a better setup and a better risk to reward. That erodes as a good trade moves forward. That's totally true. That's a great point. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons for me, emotionally, psychologically, selling into strength, but Michael Leva is 100% correct. It does free up capital for other trades that have better risk to reward ratios. Really good point. Frank is in a half position at UPST. All right. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. like the half position too. Frank 1/2 position. Good luck on that, Frank. Paxton is out of a half a MA. Okay. In blink. Okay. And UPST. All right. Okay. Kamal is in UPST. Good risk to reward ratio, nice V2, nice sideways motion. This is what I'm talking about, sideways motion. Right here, everyone, this is sideways motion. 1 day down and a bounce, not sideways motion. You know, what does the sideways motion tells you? It tells you there's some port there, right? It tells you that there's some price discovery going on there. It's not that it's just a bounce, right? That they're building a base. Remember, you build a skyscraper, you have to build a very strong foundation and able to build high upward with that foundation. And it's the same with the structures of charts. CMG, you're out of a third. Jonathan is in blink. Nice trade on Etsy, by the way, Jonathan. All right, and then out of chug. Or cheg. All right. Thank you, cheg or chug. That was a nice trade for Jonathan and Gary and I. Appreciate that. And we'll take that out of there. Okay. Okay, so we have Frank and Tracy, half position, Tracy, Paxton, Kamal. CMG took Kamal out of a third of that. Yes. Jonathan had a chug and blink. Okay. Ava says UPST is a high growth AI lending company. Oh, interesting. He wrote the book Trade Like a Casino. I've heard that before. So that was Richard Wiseman. I'm going to take a look at that, Steve. Thank you so much. All right. Well, what's happening after hours? Anything interesting? APPS down a smidge. Boeing up. Blink unchanged. SPY's up 22 cents. VIX is down as usual. All right, if anybody has any other entries, exits by students that they'd like me to put up on the board, please put them on in there. If you have any comments, any jokes, any observations, any predictions, just put them on in there. We'll read them. First, this is from Martin Kornfeld. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. I read this every day, but it's good advice. Let's help put the world in the right direction. And all we need to do is one random act of kindness daily for another human being. Let's do it for an animal. Throw that in there for good measure. What could it hurt, right? Maybe one day somebody will be there to do a random act of kindness for you as well. So I love this. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. I like it. I love it. Jonathan said, can you look at EL 520 cross? I'm going to try it over here. It doesn't mean I'll get this one though. Let's see. EL. No, I don't have that one. I apologize, Jonathan. Don't know if that back tests well. It's not available on etfreplay.com. See over here, if you can see EL, and I try to put it in there. It says, sorry, the ETF chosen is unavailable. Rude, right? Should we look at Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin did have a pretty nice little trigger yesterday. This is on the CME charts. False breakout to the downside, V1, intraday rejection of the 250-day moving average. It did bounce from there. It has come back, looked like it's slightly up. I think Bitcoin is going to be in between this zone here. I think it's going to trade underneath the 200 and over the 250, hopefully. I mean, we had that big down bar yesterday that got right to the 30 RSI and bounced like a champion. But right now it's range bound here. If I really wanted to buy Bitcoin, I'd wait for a move into the value zone, well, further into the value zone, then a pullback, retest of the -1 ATR channel, look for a higher low V1 or V2. Alternatively, if we had another intraday rejection of the 250 with a good risk to reward ratio, I would look at that as well. Paxton says, thanks everyone. Thank you, Paxton. Congratulations, you and Tracy. Really proud of the two of you. Ava says, many thanks, Greg and everyone. You are certainly welcome, Ava. Anytime I can help you with anything, please let me know. Johnson says, thanks a lot, Greg. Enjoy your evening. Yes, I will. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy your evening as well. So where did we end up on these indexes? Dow down 71, NASDAQ up slightly, up 18 points, and the S&P down. Look, we could keep going up further, everyone. There's no doubt that we could. You just never know where the top's going to be. There's only one real top. But, you know, as far as the technical levels of where we're at on a lot of these indexes, and these indexes tend to respect these levels, but, you know, let's look at the SPY. SPY's not too bad. We're at a 55 RSI. We've rejected the first ATR channel twice. Let's look over at the Qs. Qs, we're up at the 65 RSI level. We're up at the third ATR channel. You know, yeah, we could keep moving up. We really could. The momentum is definitely in that right direction, but statistically, we're getting to the point here where at best we go sideways, at worst we go down. So keep that in mind. Right? It's fun to make money every day, all that kind of stuff, but you know, at some point sellers will come into the market, and so you know, I'm being a little careful up here, I guess is what I'm saying. Jonathan says, cheers guys, cheers to you. Nice trade on Etsy, by the way, Jonathan. Had a great day yesterday. Woo, very nice. So, all right, everybody, have a good rest of your day. Be good, be kind, be safe, drive safe. Be nice to each other. Do something nice for another human being. Do something nice for an animal. Hit the thumbs up button if you could, like how I squoze in the little plug there. But seriously, if you did, I would appreciate it. And I'm having to compete with the magpies over there. They are just squawking up a storm. You can probably hear them. So again, thanks for coming. Really do appreciate it. Tomorrow's Thursday. Let's reconvene here, last hour of the day. And on the way out, I have to run that US legal disclaimer. So thanks again, everyone. Take care. Hope to see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and Forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.